and be only one!
Oh yeah? Have that thing!
Ah!
So wait, with the Sword of Swanstantine, does that mean we're going to Swanstantinople, or is it Goostanbul?
You die!
Ah!
With that goosey pun out of the way. Welcome back, everyone, to Diving Into DuckTales. As you can see, we're ready. So it's treasure hunting time as we look for... What was it called? What kind of blade?
The Split Sword of Swanstantine.
We haven't really heard anything about this yet. I mean, did it appear in the journal? Do you remember?
I can't remember, honestly. It's been a
Yeah,
while.
I can't either. But
Yeah.
I'm going to assume that it's a big deal, and I assume it's a play on the word Constantine. Maybe Kat Reeves will show up. Whoa. I don't really know much what's going to happen, although I did see a screenshot, so I feel like there's going to be a lot of characters in this one, and I'm not just talking about, the main duck family. So
Looks like Fowl's involved for reals.
like fully, too.
Mhm.
Yeah, so now everything involving the treasure stuff is going to incorporate Fowl from this point forward.
So I guess we have two large groups going at the same time?
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
okay,
Why not?
all hands on deck. Why not? Let's make this more interesting. You will watch us react to these videos.
I will react to these videos. Wait.
So let's not dawdle. Play you. Ah!
The Grand Bazaar of Istanbul. History's first.
Just one's
and
Constantinople?
finest. Don't let the savory scent of shish kebabs distract you.
Up with you, Dick.
Did you pay for that?
We find the split sword
Go,
of
Kakarosh.
Swanstantine the Great. According to Fitch's journal, only those in tune with their inner strength could claim the sword from the heavens, the underworld, and splendor of the earth. I don't know what that part means.
The five of us must work together as a family. And what are you two doing here?
Good question.
Over, you said everyone in the plane. So we got in the plane.
Do you like history?
It is my life.
The spirit.
Looks like Lena's back to her old self.
She probably activates that mode when she's like fighting.
Yeah.
Hurry now, Bairns. Fowl will be after the sword too. Oh, I'm sorry, ma'am. You look like this vile villain I know.
Yeah, I get that a lot.
Big duck.
Of course.
Consider your treasure artificially fouled up.
Boo!
Agents, I have Top Hat distracted.
I guess there's no way of sweeping that under the rug.
You ran afoul of that one.
Oh! I'll stab you both again.
Should I change out of my pajamas first? Or next?
So I guess we're shoehorning them in too.
Why not?
They're magic users.
Yeah.
They're
really.
useful.
Yeah. I just like how Scrooge said, guys, get in the plane, and they're just like, okay. Thank God their parents are cool about this.
Yeah, really.
If we want to find the sword piece we're after, we can't do anything to alert Fowl.
You, sword? Look at our sword! Look at our sword
Oh my
here!
God,
Look
really?
at our sword!
Or we can blindly ask every person we see. We can use those platforms to figure out a way up there first.
Hear that, Ticket? Prepare to get control!
Oh my God, Dewey, shut up!
As long
Why
as
do I
it
sense a
doesn't
video
really-
game reference coming up?
Oh, this is a heck of a predicament.
Well, they are in Istanbul, which was the setting for another video
Oh, you
game.
too. But in my other hand, I have a flash bomb.
You fools!
I can't see anything!
It's a flash bomb. It should wear off in a few minutes.
We don't have a few minutes!
Dewey? Dewey!
Look up!
How did you?
Listen up, I guess!
I guess it's easy when you don't think about it.
How'd you get up there so fast?
Good question.
I just doing it!
Step here.
It's like it's part of his creed
Don't
or
worry,
something.
I'll beat her up there with the help of my trusty new kitty sidekick.
There's no assassin.
Ah!
Watch out for snakes.
Careless helper cats, right, Fluffy?
Don't even.
Oh, man.
Just the way they're moving is basically just how you climb a building in Assassin's Creed. I love it.
Okay, we got lucky so far. Hearing, touch,
Dewey's tasting his way to the top.
but you can totally.
How are you doing that?
He's doing it.
Is that like a sixth sense or something?
Is he like Dewey the Daredevil or something?
I know some people
He's
are
a
more...
do-devil.
Oh, God.
Dare Dewey.
That's what you said the last 4 times.
I know some people do better, like, auditory-wise, but that's, like, superhuman strength.
Like I said, like Daredevil levels of.
I'm tasting victory.
That's
And splinters.
Ah!
Dewey's inner strength is his confidence.
Just take a huge leap towards the sound of my voice.
Eh,
Maybe
or
not.
don't do that.
Hey!
What was that sound?
Why is there a TV there?
Still leap toward
Or a
the
computer? I can't quite tell.
Just jump.
But what if there's no platform and I fall?
Oh, then don't jump.
Eh.
Check the buttons toward myself. It's okay. I can't see the danger.
Mm.
Oh, now I
Now
can.
we can.
Oh, my vision is coming back. I'm gonna die.
Okay, inner strength. Maybe I can echolocate using sound waves like a bat. Scream!
I speak well.
Whoa! Your sight's back?
Nope, I'm just doing it.
Then
Nah.
I'll be your web five.
Oh.
That was a stretch.
You won't see this coming.
Wait, he broke it.
Not again!
Oh!
Gotcha, bitch!
I can't get anything in my eyes because my doctor said so.
You back in the trash where you belong. One.
Totally do webbing it.
Aw, it looks like our true inner strength was our friendship.
And the friends we made along the way. Right, Fluffy?
And they all died from the venomous bite.
So I guess we're doing another sort of anthology-ish episode.
Yeah, I guess they all split, so this is what happened to them, this is what happened to them, and this is what happened to them.
I don't have a problem.
It's kind of reminiscent of Day of the Only Child.
Those episodes from How I Met Your Mother where like they start the first
In
act
one
is
room
the
and then-
second act
yeah.
and the third act, or like this is like why this person needed to win, or why this person needed to win, and why this person needed to win.
Pardon me, but do you have a reservation?
Oh, did you?
I suppose we have a room available on the patio.
I guess this.
What about this situation made you think that they were going to dinner together?
That's what the story is supposed to be. I've procured pennies to pay the ferryman to travel the river Styx. Also, I found his axe.
If I know a thing or two about legend, it's that all this flowery underworld language is just a cover for a con.
Do not accept tracks from this man.
Well,
The
right
sick
back.
and richest duck bounces chicks all the time.
The silver-tongued serpent?
Just a little alias I've been developing.
It's that
Underworld runs
woman from
Oh, and there's some sky
Japan.
pirates too.
Yeah.
About a legend of the criminal underworld.
But what if you have to live up to the legends?
That's a future Louis problem. There's the
That's future Louis' problem.
The serpent gracing us with his
It's
presence.
like Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
Christoph, old friend. Hello.
I don't want to incur your wrath, but I also want this man's 50 pounds of gold.
Oh, son of them.
Or whatever you call yourself, John D. Rockerduck shall have his guard.
Well, we kind of knew he was coming back.
Fowl beat us here. You have to stop for that liver kebab.
I don't have to tell you what happened to the king of Siam when he crossed me.
Sihan.
I'm sorry.
The heir apparent of the Rockerduck fortune, ruthless rustler, and the greatest land baron of the American West. In America!
In America.
Seems we would have settled this the way we settle all feud.
This would put some feathers on your chest.
Oof.
Ooh.
Co-resist demon pepper. La muerte instantánea.
This is like that show Hot Ones, isn't it?
Yeah.
Perhaps we should bail.
The first player to drop a single bead of sweat loses the game.
Oof.
That is tough.
Yeah.
And dead.
I mean, oh boy!
Why so nervous? A ritualistic tool known by even the most unseasoned of criminals. Unseasoned. It's a pun. Spice pun.
Oh.
Took you that long to figure that out?
Yeah.
Yes, well, all of my taste buds were singed off when I was cryogenically frozen. Alas,
You're lying.
I can enjoy my beloved deviled eggs.
Yeah, I once polished off a batch of haunted ghost pepper gumbo at the Spoonerville Feisty Fiesta Cook-Off.
Spoonerville?
Yeah, I got an iron esophagus. It's pretty cool. Whoa, something else over there!
Toss.
Oh!
Goes down like a glass of goat's milk.
Surely the legendary serpent is no cheater, because we all know what happens to cheaters here.
That's racist.
Cheaters or cheetahs?
Oh, snap!
Because she's going to.
Damn, Violet!
Why as a bone?
Why does that not surprise me in the
serpent
least?
And the saber are mighty. Wait, you're the Louis Duck?
Oh boy.
Louis Incorporated.
The very Louis Duck who vanquished the Bumble, overthrew the Pharaoh Tothera, and crushed Scrooge McDuck's greatest enemies with a single pen stroke.
So says
Yeah.
Violet Saberwing, conqueror of the Shadow Realm and scourge of the dread sorceress Magica Dispel.
Yeah.
See why we go by fake names?
Because the truth of us is far more terrifying.
Now, who's fucking sarsaparilla? All the time, my body grits to be a baby.
Oh, there's Sweat.
We have a winner!
Don't touch me! I have money! Oh, but don't touch that either! Give me all my money! Ah!
I can't believe they won on reputation alone.
Yeah, really.
Damn.
And he was the first to sweat.
Strength was just the truth. Also, my mouth is on fire. Excuse me.
Milk! Milk!
Bread.
They work well together. I like it.
Yeah.
I liked it.
Honestly, Violet works well with everybody.
Yeah.
It's amazing for as rigid as she seems, she's very adaptable to like every situation.
Yes.
For time and channel.
According to legend, we must tap into our true strength to free the blade and...
Hammers are strong.
This is an ancient historical
Smashy,
artifact.
smashy.
There's a right way to do this without wrecking everything.
I have the power!
We did it!
Well, thank you. That's not the first
Ah,
time
damn
I'm a nerd to do my homework.
Hello, Derek.
Steel beak?
What
Nice.
What is happening?
Oh.
Froze time and put us in your mindscape.
You can do this? Why
Space
don't
is
you use
working,
your
time is
magic to get
bendable.
the blade?
Dude, I had like half a second. How about a simple thanks for not letting me get pecked to death?
the?
This will give us some time to figure out how to stop that bug.
Wait, if we're frozen in my mind, then we have all the time in the world.
Oh,
I
God,
could
no.
analyze every
Oh no,
possible-
Huey's mind
I
palace.
was thinking, figuring out where to punch it.
We could run infinite simulations. Let's do this!
Or you could stab him.
Yeah.
Now, get it.
You want the blade, I want the blade. There's no reason why we can't come to an understanding.
It's like in a video game, you keep going back to the same point every time you mess up.
Yeah, I didn't think this would be heavy video game themed, but
This blade is all I have, and I love you.
Suck at this
I
story.
need to introduce myself. The name is Marvin Van Witzel.
next.
What sword? Trash man?
I'm you as a boy!
Where are you getting these things from?
It's in his mind.
So,
Nothing is working. Do this.
Duke of making a
Ooh.
mess.
Hey, Huey Mind Door. What is the Duke of making a mess?
Oh no.
No, don't open it.
That's what we call the id.
yes.
That's your true strength? You have that hiding inside you?
Ah! I get that now.
The part of me that is pure emotion.
You can't ignore the parts of yourself you don't like. Even the parts you're afraid of. You gotta own them.
But he's pure chaotic rage.
And you are pure, frustrating order. Think of what you two could do together.
Release the evil.
Or release the god.
Like taking a sword from a nerd. Oh man, 2 sick nerd birds in one day. Wait, what's his name?
Uh-oh.
Berserker mode!
He's going,
He's going Donald,
yeah.
yeah. We just wander into like an Ingmar Bergman movie?
Yes.
Professor Hugh.
Yes. He has become one with the wedgie.
That was the most beautiful butt kicking I've ever seen. I cherish this day.
They're still at it.
Well, they did have a nice dinner, so I mean, at least they got some food in them.
Turkish delights.
Lads, lasses, where are you? I knew you could follow those feculent Fowl agents.
I beg to differ.
Oh boy.
Your bizarre adventure is over. Get it? Bizarre? Oh man,
Oh my
I
God.
gotta try stand-up.
Quiet! Hand over the sword.
Is that a JoJo
Come on,
reference?
man. Duke it up again.
Can't. Too weak.
I used up all my rage.
Charge.
Oh boy. Oh.
Come together right now.
What should we do?
Swanstantine.
Just.
You are not worthy.
Split sword can only be claimed by those possessed of inner strength. You used your inner strength. And
Ooh.
you kids are mine.
Haha.
Did you want to resume this fight?
Run away! Run away!
You'll be hearing from my lawyer after he thaws.
Well, I have powers. Political powers!
There you go. Everyone take one.
Who wants shawarma?
Huzzah!
Huzzah!
Huzzah! Huzzah!
Huzzah!
Mission accomplished. We got what we came here for.
What? So they were after a feather.
Whose feather?
Whose feather?
Good question.
What
I was
is-
about to say there was 4 of them, and they still didn't get the sword. How is that going to go down at corporate? Like,
There was an ulterior motive. Maybe there was an
Guess so.
ulterior. Maybe there was an ulterior motive with this. I mean, they got a feather from, I don't know, maybe it was Scrooge's feather. Because remember, we just saw Scrooge, fighting for like half an hour, just
Yeah.
trying to. So
she definitely got a handful of feathers at some point.
didn't we hint earlier in the season about Fowl with genetic technology and stuff? I mean, they did create rescue rangers after all. So.
True. I mean, that was more like advancing the intelligence and stuff, but
But what if Fowl has more powerful technology? Like they can actually create something. Are they gonna clone Scrooge or
it's
something?
gonna be another clone of Scrooge running around. A non-robot version of Scrooge. God, now we're gonna see a giant Scrooge come out and be like, curse me, kids. Oh, that was a fun adventure, though.
That was a fun adventure, and we also got to see the Huey, Dewey, and Louie in different
pairings with the girls.
Yeah. I mean, we already know how, Dewey and Webby work together, and usually they work well. I find it interesting that for once, he was the one to carry her in this scenario. Dear God, he's gonna have some hidden powers or something. That was beyond, even for Dewey.
Yeah, I mean, I guess by doing and not thinking. So it's
Yeah.
kind of like, for those who watch Scrubs, it's kind of like the Todd, how he's in the moment. It's he's not the brightest, but it's when he goes into surgery, he's not in his own head, he's just doing it. He's like, da 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 shiny skull. Da 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 da, gonna cut him up.
Yeah, I suppose. It just seemed really weird to me, especially coming from Dewey. Actually, I think all of them kind of displayed some sort of superhuman ability in this episode. Maybe not Louis so much. I mean, he basically lied his way through everything, which is normal for him.
That's his strength.
Yeah.
Yes, but then
Yeah.
when he started showing off his actual reputation, people were more impressed with that than what he was lying with.
Yeah, so his power is charisma.
Yes.
I mean, that did seem obviously when when we see Huey and his id form, it's and then we hear Lena mention that's your true self. I think that's basically the theme of it. Each one of them was discovering their true self via the sword.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Because like, some of the stuff they did was pretty impressive. Like I said, I honestly do think that Louis' segment was, like, my favorite and the best, because, again, even though, like, he, pretty much Louis'd his way into everything, like, Violet helped him, and, like, again, they got through all that by reputation alone. Like, the only other character I can think of who can do that is, like, the Doctor.
Yeah.
And they're just kids. So that, to me, is, like, really damn impressive.
Yeah, and it's like you said, especially with, like, Violet being adaptive, it's like, it's amazing how well she'll complement any of the characters that she's with.
Mm-hmm. And then Huey, man, woof. I expect him to go Super Saiyan again. It's like you always knew deep down there was, like, something in there trying to get out, but his desire for order and his paranoia and his overthinking of everything was always holding him back, and it was nice to see him just give in to the rage and just go all Hulk out on everybody.
Pretty much.
Now I'm wondering if, like, all of them have the ability to do that. We've seen Donald do it, we've seen Della do it, so it stands to reason that maybe the others can do it too.
It's genetic.
I feel like there's kind of this, I want to say it's probably like each of them might have inherited something different from, Della/Donald.
Yeah.
So it's like, obviously...
Huey got the rage, so...
Yeah.
Yes.
But I could see, like, they do take after their mother and uncle a lot in many aspects, so I like seeing those aspects come to light, though, because they're so amusing and entertaining. What was your guys' favorite segments?
It's hard to choose, because they were all so good, but definitely... Like you said, I definitely favor Louis and Violet and their segment, just in like how well Violet and Louis complemented each other.
I like Huey's because it kind of touched me a bit about we have stuff that we're afraid to show, but we can learn to own it and kind of create a balance with that. And I thought that one struck me the most. And especially that since if this is supposed to be more of a Huey-centered, like from a character development standpoint for this season, this is a big moment really for Huey that
I agree
that
totally.
that not only he can be intelligent, but he can also play into his more I guess what we've been describing, the id part of his brain, where he can be work with emotion instead of working against it.
Considering how the last episode we watched him basically become terrorized and get his ass kicked by Webby throughout the entire thing, it's nice to see that he does have the ability to fight back physically. I also liked how he played off of Lena, because you could tell Lena wasn't going to take any of his shit.
No.
And like she even indulged him too by letting him do the scenario over and over again, showing him that no matter what angle he came at it, he was going to fail. He had to face it head on. Like, it reminds me of an Avatar episode, but I won't say anything because I know you haven't seen that yet.
Well,
but you all at home know what I'm talking about. Honestly, I am surprised that this wasn't more of a failure for Fowl, given, what the sword did and everything, but I guess that wasn't the ultimate prize. But now that makes me wonder, like, are they really after the rest of the treasures now, or is it something the family themselves possess?
I think what's going to happen is they're going to let the family get the rest of the treasures, and then they're just going to take all of it all at once.
That would probably feed into the whole clone theory, because once they have everything, they send in the clones steal it easily without them even knowing.
Well, that or they use the treasures and, whatever power, I guess, they generate when brought together, to, power the clone. I mean, obviously we know very little about, what their main goal is, other than to steal everything out from under the Duck family.
But why steal?
Yeah.
Well, why are they doing it? That's the thing we don't know. At least not yet.
Not yet, no.
And we have our theories, but I'm honestly waiting for more of the episodes to further confirm it.
Yeah.
And right now, all we have to go on is the illustrations in the journal, but that's really nothing solid quite yet. Also, I just have to say this, Rocker Duck is lame. He was lame then, he's lame now. Like, I get he's like a famous villain from Scrooge's past, like in the comics and everything, but there's really nothing special about him other than the fact that he's rich.
Not only that, it's like he doesn't have any muscle anymore. He didn't even, obviously, we still don't know whether or not, his bodyguard is still a baby, or, if they're going to fix that or not. But even so, you would think being that he's not very, strong himself, he doesn't like to fight for himself so much, or he's not able to fight for himself. You would think he'd bring Muscle along with him to back him up, but no, he just went in on his own.
Also, it begs the question, what is in it for him, really? He's rich. If what he said earlier is anything to go by, he has everything he needs. Like, what does he really need Fowl for? Like, he has his empire back, supposedly, even though that makes no goddamn sense.
I don't think he could be lying like what Louis was doing earlier, but because, I don't think he has his empire. I think because he hasn't been around for, 100 years or something like that, so,
I know, but you think he'd have, maybe living, descendants or something, or somebody taking care of his estate? I mean, the name still holds, recognition and some form of power. And plus, given all the shit that goes on in this universe, you would think that people would believe, oh, you're a time traveler. Okay. I expected a little bit more of a threat from, the four involved. Heron definitely was a threat. It was nice to see that, she can not just hold her own against Beakley, but Scrooge too. And granted, she took them both on at the same time when they were in their prime, but even now.
And of course, Steelbeak is Muscle, so.
Yeah. I mean, I expected him to be Steelbeak, when she certainly was. Surprised to see Gandra Dees, she's quite nimble.
Also, I want to point out that apparently I saw in the credits, I saw Rob Paulson's name, and he was Steelbeak originally.
The irony.
Yeah.
I mean, I get it, they want to give other actors a chance, which is
perfectly fine.
Yeah.
I'm happy with that, but I just find it funny.
Yeah, that just leaves us with the question of what Fowl's real plan is. So I guess we'll have to see with every treasure that they find what happens from here. So what's the next episode?
Next episode is New Gods on the Block.
So I'm assuming we'll make a trip back to Greece, or possibly Valhalla.
And maybe the return of Storkules.
Father is most displeased.
I assume we're going to see more Storkules Donald Love.
What I want to see, though, is Della and Celine. It's they're supposed to be BFFs, so we haven't seen any of that.
The closest we saw was when the moon invaded and Celine kind of shut them all out. It's great, you leave Della stranded on the moon for a decade, don't even check up on her afterwards, and then you just kind of, stay out of her business when she gets back. It's wow, some friend you are. I still say Celine's the worst goddess ever. So yeah, next time we get to tangle with the gods, supposedly, or a boy band that are made of gods, or something of that nature.
As long as they have the right stuff.
I just had a thought too. What do you think how do you think Storkules is going to react if Donald gets together with Daisy? Love triangle! Let the shipping wars commence. But until next time, I'm Kat Macberrie.
I'm Eric Stoller.
I'm Doug Macberrie.
Huzzah!
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 Stab.
Ugh.